A vast mound of refuse sprawls beside narrow sandpacked streets. A heap of refuse sits beside homes. Rotten food, plastic, broken glass, and rusted metal fuse together. Flies swarm. The ground leaks dirty water. Small fires burn, sending black smoke from melted plastic into the air. Nigeria once enforced monthly environmental sanitation as a civic duty, but the practice faded over time. This is Abuja, the capital of Nigeria, a city of political power, economic ambition, and for too many, a daily struggle with one of the most basic services, waste management.
We have complained things about this thing, even to the minister who wrote it, that we don't want it in this area. Because sometimes if the thing full, nobody can come and pack it. They are causing some problems, even hold up, accident, that area.
Across Nigeria, roughly 32 million metric tons of waste are generated annually. Yet, only 20 to 30% is collected in an environmentally sound way. Most ends up in open dumps, drainage channels, fields, or burnt where it lies.
First of all, as individuals, the first effect it has having them around the residential areas is on our health as individuals, because the waste doesn't just pile up there. It's a breeding ground for mosquitoes, flies, and all of these little insects that carry diseases. So you then see people around those areas consistently having to go to the doctor's office because they're having to treat malaria, or because a fly is perching on the waste and then coming to perch on their food and they have to go and treat other illnesses. Even the smell that is being that comes out from the waste also is harmful to the human body. It also seeps into our water bodies. So if there's a water body close to the waste dump, then there's dirty water that is leaching into the water body and then seeps even into our ground, and it's just polluting everything around us. And lastly, the greater good of the environment. When the waste is piled up there, it releases toxins that contributes to climate change.
In Abuja, the Abuja Municipal Area Council alone generates over 2,000 tons of solid waste every day, the equivalent weight of dozens of buses. Yet, a chronic lack of collection infrastructure forces residents to adapt, sometimes with fire.
Because a lot of these materials that are being disposed in this refuse dump are not biodegradable. They are made from chemicals. They consist of plastics. Some of them are electrical waste and battery waste. So because of the mixed nature of the kind of waste and material that we are seeing in this waste item, they tend to release toxins that, when it pollutes the environment, contributes to climate change. As we have gotten to understand, is either the weather becoming either too hot or too cold, depending on the part of the region, where it's no longer conducive for the people. We also lose track of the planting and the harvesting seasons, as we're currently seeing in Nigeria.
Definitely, there is a lot of health hazard in our community. We have three things: health hazards, causing hold up, and causing accidents sometimes. Because most of the times you see the refuse just cover the road. Sometimes even the Kenapa people, they will see them, driving recklessly. At the end of it, it will end up in hitting people on that place.
If it is possible, the waste collection point should be relocated and the refuse should be evacuated on time. It has been over 2 months and no one has come to clear the wastes.
This refuse is affecting the entire Nyanya community, has caused frequent accidents. In addition to that, the situation keeps getting worse.
For the people who live here, this is not just a waste problem, it is a daily ache. Every breath carries smoke and decay, and every rain brings floodwaters filled with diseases into their homes. People who sweep paths through the pies, who care for one another, who keep living with the hope that the city will one day see them, are as more than just a problem to be managed.
That creates space for a lot of things, like there are a lot of illnesses that can come in when you live close to these areas. For example, now, wherever there is like an open waste, there will be rats, there are rodents, of course. And with that, there is there is an epidemic of Lassa fever. There is typhoid fever as well, which is gotten from contaminated food and water. Cholera. So all these diseases, the people living there are prone to getting ill with all this.
Solid waste in Nigeria reflects a national challenge. A country of over 200 million people generating increasing quantities of waste yearly at roughly 0.51 kilogram per person per day, with projection estimating this will grow unless collection and infrastructure improve.
One of the effects that we have seen over time is maybe people drinking out of water that is being polluted. So you see people then having long-term diseases because of the water, and you see them continuously going to the hospital to treat themselves, not knowing that because they keep coming back to that stream of water, dirty water, which the waste leaks into, is the one that keeps sending them back to the hospital. And sometimes it's terminal illnesses.
Experts say this is not just a local issue, it is a policy and governance failure too, where inadequate funding, poor planning, and absence of functional waste system leave communities to bear the burden.
So most times when we see communities trying to manage waste by themselves, you tend to see them burning the waste eventually. And in burning that waste, that means that they are also contributing to climate change because of the fumes that comes out of burning. And then for people who have illnesses like asthma, we then see them going into panic attack. Sometimes, even for myself, whom I do not have asthma or something like that, when I pass through an environment where they are burning waste, it tends to choke me.
That smoke that comes out from burning the waste is very harmful because it causes what we call acute respiratory distress syndrome, and it presents with either cough, difficulty in breathing. So it's very important that the government too should, I think, create some kind of law enforcement, like a group of people going to the communities and educating them about the need of the poor sanitation in the area, the need of them to sit up, and also in areas where there are vulnerable groups, especially babies, pregnant women, old age. Their immune system is very weak. So health education, I think, will really go a long way.
Here, in the shadow of national power, people live cheek by jowl with waste and with its consequences. This is not just refuse, it is a climate problem, a health hazard, and a challenge that reflects the broader story of urbanization in Nigeria.